startup 2020 Dodge Durango SRT 392. They were looking at a 2020 Dodge Durango SRT 392. Do have the big brake package on this one. Big Brembos, front rear slotted rotors. I do like this color. It is a very nice vehicle. Missing the hitch cover plate there. It is from CarMax, 24-hour test drive. A nice smoke wheels. I think it locked. Get the hood scoop in the front, as well as the heat extractors on both sides. Very aggressive looking front end. I guess I'll have to edit that out. Go ahead and pop the hood here. So looking at it, the hood scoop is not really functional. It does blow the air into the engine, maybe help out the heat extractors, blow air out, but there is no intake on the top. Surprise, surprise. 392 on the valve covers. Heat extractors on the hood are open. Hood scoop again, just letting the air in. Go ahead and take a look at the interior here. Starting from the back, do have the power lift gate. Not much room here behind the third seats. Do have the button here for the tailgate. Seats do flip down, give you a little bit more cargo area. Brings you down to a 4-passenger because this one does have the captain's chairs. Chairs back up, just simply pull on the strap. Flip the headrest up, pull on the strap, flip the headrest up. I'm used to on the back, but there's your button there. There's your button here for the rear closure. Okay, in the back seats, this one does have the red accented seats. It does look pretty good with the red accent on the seat and the seat backs on the black. This one also does have the optional DVD, actually a Blu-ray player. Do have controls for the air conditioning in the back up here with our vents right here. Me getting in here with my seat in a seating position. It's pretty decent. Do have some room. Now the one thing that was noticed earlier is there is maybe a little cup holder here for this passenger, cup holder there for that passenger. There is an optional, oh actually there's cup holders down there, how about that? So there is an optional that solves the, she just didn't notice the cup holders down here. There's an option for a tray here, a center console. This one doesn't have that option. Also you do have heated seats in the back, as well as an air conditioning vent in the center console, as well as auxiliary ports, both side HDMI, as well as standard video in the seats for the video players. This one does have the 2 sets of headphones, wireless headphones. You have the SRT embroider there on the seats. Moving around to the front driver's seat. You have a little bit of a cup holder there. Your power windows, mirrors adjustments, as well as door locks are on the door. This one does have the upgraded Harman Kardon sound system, which reminds me I should check. Actually, I think the upgrade is for a box in the back of it. I don't think I saw that I believe would fit here. So this one does not have the upgraded radio. You have your power adjustable seat here, as well as your bolsters. Getting into the front, fairly okay size, pretty standard size actually, screen. You have your auxiliary ports here, as well as a 12-volt DC there. Cigarette lighter plug. You have a center console, which is taken up quite a bit for the Blu-ray player. You have a 12-volt DC in here as well, and very little bit of storage right there. A little change holder here. Shifter, it's pretty nice and comfortable for an automatic transmission. You got your air conditioning radio controls on the dash, pretty standard there, as well as multiple controllers here. This one also has the paddle shifters. It is a dual clutch. Go ahead and start it up here. Lighted up instrument panel. Sounds pretty good. And over here we have our options for media, climate, the navigation, apps, phone options, settings, and controls. Media start off is pretty standard. This one does have the Sirius XM, AM, FM, HD radio, as well as you can have it play off of your phone. And it does have, of course, Apple CarPlay. Climate control options, pretty standard there. Dual climate control front and rear. I'm sorry, front dual climate control. Navigation, standard with a fairly decent looking map, but typical. And here's where you go to your apps. You have your drive link. Well, it should give you traffic, weather, fuel prices, and various items there. You get your Srt Dashboard. We'll go over that here in a minute. Get your driver's heated seat, driver's ventilated seat, passenger heat, passenger ventilated. You do have a Wi-Fi hotspot in this vehicle. Get your backup camera. You can take a look at the back here. Projection manager for your DVD screens. This will allow you to also play off of your phone. If you wanted to play something off your phone in the back, you didn't have a Blu-ray. Emergency call. You have Srt Modes, which gives you some of the driver options. You have your track, sport. You can have custom settings, auto, which mainly makes it street, snow, and tow. And then also your race options down here, which will also be found in the apps. So right now this one's set for launch control at 3,100 RPM actually. Launch control. You can press activate launch control to get that going. We'll check that out later. You do have a valet mode where you can set it to valet mode. So when you leave it for valet, they're not doing burnouts. And you can also do eco mode. So you can save some fuel because you're totally buying a 392 for eco mode because you're concerned with gas mileage. Let's go ahead and put that back on sport. Speaking of gas mileage, yeah, so I've been on it in a little bit, but yeah, look at averaging 7.5 miles an hour. I got it with 64.45 miles on it. So I haven't been that far, and it was a full tank of gas when I got it down to about 3/4 now. You can fold the rear headrest from here. heated steering wheel, your media button again, your climate controls, seat controls are also up here, and just some other management of the controllers. So going into SRT Dashboard, like I said, it does take you into the drive modes again with the transmission as well as the race settings, racetrack settings, race options. I guess I did want that. Then you got your performance gauges, performance pages. Let that load up here. It's listing right now. It's on the dyno, instant dyno information. Engine gives you PSI, torque, and horsepower you're currently using. You do have a G-force gauge. And you have an oil temp gauge, oil pressure, battery voltage, and coolant gauges as well. Then you have your timers. 60 foot, 330, eighth speed, 1,000 foot, as well as quarter mile. The best quarter mile is 13.4. Somebody wasn't trying. And then reaction time obviously is not used at this time. Acceleration and braking 0 to 60. Last was 7.3. Best was 4.6. 0 to 100 hasn't been done. Braking distance is 624. Best on the brake from miles per hour is 37. Then you go to your home with your horsepower gauge, current gear, G-force, as well as you could add some other widgets. Let's see what we can add here. Oil temp, oil pressure, coolant temp, battery voltage, steering angle, current gear, current speed, trans temperature, intake temperature, engine torque, engine power, G-force readings, and then you can add a timer just to right there as well. Go ahead and leave that alone since it's not my vehicle. And then we'll go ahead and take her for a drive. Go for a little drive here. Handling's pretty good. I like the sound. Amy doesn't like the sound too much. I think Cameron's okay with the sound. But it does definitely get noisy in here when you're on it. Looking at some of the gauges there, the horsepower gauge. It's very comfortable to drive. Definitely, I like this sound. Actually, kind of wish I could get a dual clutch transmission in the Saline. That would be much nicer. The paddle shifts are good, but the dual clutch is definitely better. I'm sure there's that mod I can do, but how much that is another question. So this one at CarMax, like I said, some of the options here are this one does have the sunroof, has a big brake kit. The seats are the standard. You either get a black or the red inserts. The other one would be the Napa leather, and I don't believe this one would be the Napa leather. It does have the silver stitching. I believe it has the technology package as well. That's the dynamic cruise control, which will obviously slow you down in traffic and keep a distance in traffic. I haven't tried that yet, but it does have the forward collision and and all the collision aspects as well on this one. The CarMax at this one with the 6,500 miles now, CarMax is asking $70,998. Last night I did go on Dodge.com, comped out a brand new 2021, and it's actually virtually the same price. Of course, everybody knows right now the used car market is out of control, and I think when you're looking at a used SRT or any used vehicle right now like this, and the price is comparable to a brand new one, obviously you can see what the used car prices are, especially with a fairly new used car with lower mileage. But the handling is good. It's nice and turns easily. Feels good. Feels comfortable going around the corners. Of course, we are all-wheel drive here. We'll take it down the hill here. I mean, it's definitely fun to drive. But the one thing that I can say for sure this one does is it makes me want to check out the Hellcat Durango. This one is pretty crazy. You can definitely feel the lag and the weight of this one dragging on the horsepower and upper RPM range. I can imagine how much of a difference it'll be in a Hellcat. Of course, the Hellcat is roughly $20,000 to $30,000 more than this one runs. There is a Hellcat at the dealer next to the Norco, CarMax, where this one came from. I'm gonna check that out. It's white with looks like blue stripes in the picture, and it's MSRP'd at $94,000 on the website for Browning Norco. They're listing it at $109,000 MSRP. So looks like they're putting their markup in the cost, in the MSRP cost. So we'll check that out definitely. When I'm going here, just got it on this little straight. Feels a little bit laggy at the top end before shifts. Overall, for practicality purposes for us, this would be the replacement for our Highlander, which would be kind of my daily driver, and the one we use to keep the mileage off the Expedition. This one wouldn't be the candidate for that with the gas mileage. We'd end up driving the Expedition all the time for gas mileage purposes, and the mileage on this isn't bad. But still, I'd get a Hellcat anyway, regardless of the miles, because I daily drive that. Because I feel, well, I mean, without driving it, I feel it would be worth it, just for the fun factor. Very smooth ride, and this is in sport mode, so for being in sport mode, still fairly smooth ride. Nice feel, nice comfort level. Feels just as comfortable as the Expedition. I've never thrown it in track mode. track mode here. Traction control off, activate launch control. Apply brake pressure. Okay, well, that was interesting. Full traction control off, track control off, everything off. Definitely track control. Or traction control's off. Alright, well, that's about a wrap on this one. Like I said, the gas mileage, 7.5. If you're looking for gas mileage, obviously an SRT isn't for you. I know a lot of people I've seen before on the forums talking about, can I put unleaded in my, regular unleaded in my SRT? The answer is, sure you could, but why did you buy an SRT? With the difference in gas price between regular and premium fuel, which here in California is only 91. It's not that much on a take of a fill up. You're looking at maybe around 20 cents a gallon, roughly $3 to $4 difference is all you're going to save for putting crap gas in your car. I would never do it. Would never recommend anybody doing it. If you want to have an SRT with this motor, you're going to have to put premium in it. If you don't want it, don't buy the SRT. Bottom line, so I mean, it's a $70,000 car. You better treat it right. Give it what it needs. Give it the food it needs. Anyway, all right. Catch you guys on the next one.